So we got two servos here. One is $32 from a well-known name manufacturer. I like it a lot. Kyosho Metal Gear Servo. The other is from a name I don't know and cost me $8. We're going to use the old Servo Center 5000 adjusty tool thingy and put them through the paces and see what you get. So right off the bat, let me apologize. I am severely under the weather. Have a fairly high-grade fever and more than likely should be in bed resting. But instead, I decided to do the right thing and videotape myself playing with servos for hopefully your guys' enjoyment. So any hacking, dying, sneezing, coughing, I apologize, but really wanted to make this video. So without further ado. So starting off with the Kyosho. Don't really think I need to do too much explaining on this one. There's the item information. This is one of my favorite. I feel it's a fairly reasonable price servo for the money that you get. It's Metal Gear brass head right here, and basically comes in a bag. If you want to call those accessories, that I feel is one of the downfalls. It does come with the server horn screw, so it's super important, and some rubber and brass grommets, and then that's the servo itself. I consider this one a fairly larger or bigger servo, if you want to call it that. It's definitely by no means a slim, micro, or small. We'll get dimensions here and you'll see what I'm talking about. This, on the other hand, GS Power, does come in a very nice box. Definitely worth the $8 right there. This also is a Metal Gear servo with an aluminum housing casing. From what I read, this mainly has brass and steel with, I believe, one aluminum gear in there. So you'll have a lot, which, you know, some Metal Gear servos are a lot of aluminum and brass, or you'll have some steel mixed in there. But for the most part, what I've gathered is that it's brass and steel, which is fairly good. Large bag of accessories. Definitely call this accessories. Quite a few different horns, some screws, things like that, and pretty cool. A 25 tooth, which is what this is, or you know, the head there, and a aluminum servo arm, hat, head, whatever you want to call it. So pretty cool. And it never said in the description that it included that. I really don't have a use for it, but maybe you guys do, so it's pretty cool that it includes that. Now, this, like a lot of things on Amazon or eBay, like I said, I got this one on Amazon. It was their prime deals when they were running for 3 days or a week or what have you. So they range from $15 to $25. But like I said, these are branded through quite a few different brands. So I found them under the name of a handy notepad here, DS Power, GS Power, which on the box it actually says GS Power, but the one I ordered online said DS Power. That's fine. And then Kubu RC. Yeah. Basically, you can tell when they rebrand them, they don't really change the logo too much. So you'll see the little gear icon there. All their 20Ks are red. They make purple ones, which are like 35 or 45, something like that. So they don't really change the design or look too much, other than you know, the name. But if you see any servo that looks like this in red and it has that little gear icon, it says 20 kg on it, more than likely it's just rebranded from this brand. Initial impressions, right off the bat, there's no slop here, so that's really good. Fairly thick. The teeth on here look to be pretty uniform. No pieces of metal stuck in there. It doesn't look wound down, and it indeed is an aluminum casing, aluminum housing, and then this upper part is plastic. Now, they do say that it is waterproof. If you want to put that to the test, more power to you. I would say at the price point, more than likely water resistant. If you submerge this, I kind of really need this, or else I'd do that. Maybe when I get some extra ones, or if they go on sale again, I'll buy one and literally submerge it in water and see if it works. But they claim that it is waterproof. Back to the Kyosho, same thing. I did notice the head is a little bit taller, brass on here. This is all plastic, but like I said, the very strong servo, really fast, pretty crazy speed actually for the money that you get. So I will tend to put this in kind of my higher end units, or ones that are not easily accessible, or that I'm going to run a lot off road. I literally got these for two reasons. The price, it's $8. These will go in shelf queens, or maybe units that are not ran a whole lot, or maybe I just don't want the wheels to flop around. But basically that's what I got these for. So just a kind of a cheap alternative to not have to spend as much money on a nice higher end servo if I don't really need to. So coming up here, we're gonna, like I said, plug it into the old servo center adjuster manual 5000 there, and you'll start to see some of the differences in these particular servos. Alright, so as promised, let's get some dimensions real quick. No particular order, we'll start with this Kyosho. The actual body, without including the little top, 38.3 millimeters. Width is about 19.9, and from the actual top of the head there to the bottom of the body, we'll call that 43.4. And again, I consider this a standard servo. Well, they consider it a standard servo, but I feel it's a little bit on the larger side. So now this one, make sure that gets zeroed out. Right. Actual body is 41.6. Apparently not 41. 41.8. 41.7. 41.8. Width about 20 even, and from the top to the bottom 48.8. So definitely a little bit bigger. So this is not going to be the one for you if you don't have a whole lot of room kind of to work with. Let me see if I can get in there. It's going to be a little bit harder, but you can kind of see the difference there in size. This one also kind of has those little rings or ridges, so I think that takes a little bit from the height there, a couple millimeters, probably centimeters, but the head on the Kyosho is just a tad bit taller. But again, I think it's because this one has those ridges, or whatever you want to call it. So now we'll get it into that and see what the difference is. Alright, so I got you guys all nice and close like in here, and first we're going to run this DS or GS power through its paces, and then we'll plug the Kyosho in, run it through its paces, and then this bad boy actually has multiple, where you can plug in as many as 3. So then I'll plug them in both together and kind of go through, and you guys will see the difference. But how do you guys, side note, how do you guys like the black mat? Upgraded that, and by upgrade I mean I literally just flipped the green one over and it's black on the bottom. Let me know in the comments, do you guys like the green one? Is the black one a little better? Is it kind of tripping you out with all the black and the white? But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. So we'll take it through a manual kind of thing here. Pretty smooth, no jittering or anything like that. Fairly quiet, doesn't make a whole lot of gurgles or unknowns when you're not doing anything. Seems to have a little torque. It'll move, but for the most part, fairly smooth. Now I'll put it on the auto, and you'll kind of see it do its thing. So yeah, there's that one. We're gonna get the Kyosho plugged in real quick, and we'll do the same thing. We'll be right back. All right, I have the Kyosho here plugged in, and you can see right off the bat, that thing just wants to jump off the table. Crazy torquey, super smooth, not doing anything weird or funny when I leave it alone. So already I can tell, even though this is rated at a lower torque, it already is much torqueier than that CS power. So we'll put it on the auto here, and you'll see she's a dancer. Really smooth. You can kind of hear it. Hopefully you can hear it. There's a different pitch too. So now we'll get them both plugged in and compare them side by side. Be right back. All right, here we are, got them both plugged in, and we'll do the same thing. Now, one thing I want you guys to look at, I'm barely moving the knob here. And you can see there is a little bit of delay on the CS. Is a little, it's got the jitters. It's a little jittery. But as you can see, with the slightest input or movement, Kyosho definitely is super sensitive and will pick it up. The other one, a slight delay, and like I said, not as precise, which is to be expected. So there's that. Though I will tell you, it almost seems like CS power is maybe a bit faster when you do that, but we'll put it on auto here. But you can see, yeah, that Kyosho just wants to dance all over the place. So that'll wrap that up. So what do I think? I think this will work out great for what I bought it for. Like I said, you know, if maybe you got a rock crawler, or if you do, you know, a lot of carpet or track racing, yeah, this is probably not for you. It doesn't have near the precision. It's fairly big, heavy, which maybe is not that much of an issue. But yeah, if you got a shelf queen, if you have a basher, if you have, you know, something where, you know, it's just your backyard or you know, BMX track runner, I think this will work great. The only downfall, like I said, doesn't seem to be as sensitive or precise as that particular Kyosho over there. I don't think it's the rated power that it says it is. But other than that, I think it'll work great. If you have something that you need a lot more precision, a little bit more power, maybe something that's a little bit smaller. Like I said, I don't consider this the smaller of a standard size servo, but it should work okay. But if you got something where, you know, it's not easily accessible, like I just did a Nova Fox, and that thing is buried under 50 million layers of plastic. I wanted, you know, something that was concrete and was almost fail proof, so I went with something like that in there. But, you know, something that's maybe not so accessible, harder to get to, harder to work on, definitely do something that's name brand. You don't necessarily have to do the Kyosho, but do something that's name brand, and you'll sleep better at night. But if you're on a budget, or want something cheap to throw in, something that's easily accessible, you know, you don't care, you know, if they break, I think this will be perfect. So if you want to get one, like I said, just anything with this logo, if you find anything with that little gear in a red casing and it says GS Power or CS Power, even the descriptions look very similar, pretty much just find the cheapest cost one that looks like this and pull the trigger on it. So hopefully you guys found that useful. Let me know in the comments what you think. Any questions, comments, concern. I greatly appreciate it. I love talking to you guys. This is my main outlet for RC related stuff. So let me know in the comments what you think. As always, thank you very, very much for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.